Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome once again to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and I welcome him to Freedom March. Welcome, my spiritual advisor.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Today is Monday, the 10th of June, 2024. The House of Assembly is in session. The budget is being discussed. And on the floor is the opposition member of Parliament for St. Anne's, and that would be Adrian White. Meanwhile, Adrian Gibson, the other F&M member of Parliament, there has been no court for him from about the 17th. Well, I may have my date mixed up, but there's been no court, and he's expected to return to court on the 17th of June. And we are told that Adrian has been given time off, it is alleged, so that he could attend the Honorable Parliament so that he can debate the 2024 budget. We shall be watching to see if Adrian Gibson do attend the Honorable House of Assembly, and if he does in fact make a contribution to the debate on the budget. After all, Adrian Gibson is supposed to be on trial, and if he's on trial, then justice must roll, justice must flow like a mighty, mighty river. So I thought I'd tell that to you. And then, of course, over the weekend, there's been some tragedy. There's been a motor accident on the Queens Highway in Long Island, in which a young lady has been killed. And then perhaps last night, there was a murder, a 19-year-old Negro lad traveling south on one of them corner off of Wolf Road. He was confronted and he was shot multiple times. They were successful in taking him to hospital, but I'm advised he perished at about 11:30. So that's what's going on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the eye treatment. And I'm going to show you a man who's ready to go to Cuba to have his eyes dealt with. You better register, eh? Register, because Dr. Michael Dowell is serious. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Moncur, and you would recall that on Friday it was a public holiday. Thousands of Bahamian citizens all over the Commonwealth of the Bahamas celebrated Labor Day. Here on the island of New Providence, there was a great march. Everybody took to the streets, so it was a wonderful Labor Day march when the workers joined forces and they marched through the street. And we had the Free National Movement. They marched, but of course the FNM marched undercover. Apparently they didn't want to be seen. But the governing Progressive Liberal Party came out with their thousands of supporters. And after all, Friday happens to have been the birthday of Prime Minister Philip Davis. So after the Prime Minister and members of the Progressive Liberal Party marched their supporters throughout the street of New Providence, the Prime Minister and his wife, they ended up at the PLP headquarters on Farrington Road at the Lyndon Pinling Center, where the Prime Minister threw one of the biggest parties that I ever did attend. And it was full of excitement. People had a wonderful time. There was political camaraderie, political love, and the workers, they started pouring in, and everybody had a wonderful time. So this is great for the democracy. And my party, the FNM, we marched, but I regretted that we didn't put on our colors. So if you didn't see Dr. Dwayne Sands, you would not have realized that this was the red people. And I was only able to recognize the red people because, you know, Dr. Dwayne Sands has color. And as you know, that physically Dr. Dwayne Sands is red, so he really didn't need to put on a red shirt. So when I saw him and Marcus Louis shouted to me, "I see your doctor." And as I look south, because he was climbing the hill, I said, "Marcus, I don't see him." He said, "Look good, the reddest one in the crowd." And the reddest one turned out to be Dr. Dwayne Sands, who was not wearing anything for the FNM other than his birthday suit. So I want to salute the workers. I want to salute the Progressive Liberal Party for being friendly with the workers. I want to salute the Free National Movement for coming out to march with the workers. And I do hope that if God should spare all of our lives, Labor 2025, the Free National Movement would be bold and brave and put on their colors. So this is wonderful. Well, let me get my spiritual advisor. He must be ready to spread the gospel. My spiritual advisor, are you ready? And welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you so much.
How has been your weekend?
Well, the weekend, I worked.
You worked?
Yeah, I worked Labor Day. Mr. Medusa, I have an update on that passage. Is actually to verse 21. Yeah, I worked.
Did you work on Labor Day?
I worked Labor Day, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I worked.
What did you do on Labor Day?
Well, some folks on the Eastern Road who watched the show, actually.
Really?
Yeah, they telephoned me.
Okay.
I might give my numbers from time to time.
Yes.
They telephoned me to engage me in some work they needed done.
This the Eastern Road people?
Yeah, I think...
These are my people?
You refer to them as White Knights, I think?
No, I refer to them as Conky Joes.
Well, I don't know, that may offend them.
They could never be offended because my people are the Conky Joe people.
They told me.
What did they tell you?
They told me that when you use that term Conky Joe,
yeah,
it refers to people on Long Island.
That is not true.
Not them. They say
where are they from?
These people are, some of them from Great Britain.
They're from Great Britain?
They have British names, yes.
Oh, they're Britain.
Yeah.
They're the colonialists.
Yeah. One starts with an M, but I won't do that.
Okay, M for Moncur.
Moya.
Okay. Yeah, well, Moya,
You know Mr. Moya?
Moya should be Conky Joe by now. He's been.
He used to be, his father, I understand, used to be a senior police officer.
His father was a
Stanley
senior
Moyer.
assistant
Commissioner
commissioner
of
of police.
police.
I knew Stanley Moyer.
Stanley Moya.
Yeah.
You know Stanley Moya was a white man, right?
Englishman.
Right.
Right.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
So when referring to, and he respects you highly, he speaks about you a lot.
This is
That's
powerful.
his son that is.
Okay.
He says, listen, when you refer to Conky Joes, it can't be them.
Okay.
Those people in Long
Well, I
Island.
quite agree with him.
Yeah. The people in Long
Stanley
Island.
Moyer Jr. cannot be a Conky Joe. For him to be a Conky Joe, he would have had to be living in the Bahamas at least 100 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I work Labor Day, work Saturday.
And did
of
he
course,
take into consideration that a public holiday, he's required to pay you triple?
Well, he paid me double.
No. Now Stanley Moyer, you owe my spiritual advisor.
That's Mr. James Moya.
James Moyer, you owe my spiritual advisor an extra pay.
He's supposed to pay me triple?
Yes, that's your day off. He's asked you to work, so he's supposed to pay you triple.
Okay.
And for a man from England, he cannot be allowed to commit the sins of the early 1800s.
Yeah.
This is powerful.
Yeah, so it was rather hot on the weekend, though, I must say. The weather is heating up. And of course, Saturday, there was a lot of rain on Saturday. I don't know where you were. Where were you, I should say. But there's a lot of rain on Saturday for a few hours. And then, of course, Sunday, which is the Lord's Day, I met with the Lord's Church.
Well, I attended church for the first time in many Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Are we ready? Okay, great. So we're going to look at Jesus Christ of Nazareth and during the first century, how he was rejected. But this is a very interesting passage, and it's very powerful indeed. Luke chapter 4, 14 to 21, that is, Mr. Medusa, 14 to 21. Anyhow, let's go ahead. We'll start. It says, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread through the whole countryside. He was teaching in the synagogue, and everyone praised him. He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and on the Sabbath day, he went into the synagogue, and as his custom was, he stood up to read. This is very interesting. He stood up to read. It says, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. And rolling it, he found the place where it is written. Check this out now. The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. Then he rolled up the scroll, gave it back to the attendant, and sat down. The eyes of everyone in the synagogue was fastened on him. He began by saying to them, today, this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing. Luke chapter 4, 14 to 21. Jesus Christ was a very fascinating teacher, to say the least. He began by saying to them, today, this scripture is fulfilled in your hearing. The word of God is always blessed. We thank Almighty God for his word. Amen. Thank you. Let's do so.
This is powerful.
Back to you, Sandra.
This is powerful, my spiritual advisor.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, we want to welcome everybody to Freedom March. It was a long weekend. And of course, notwithstanding that, my spiritual advisor will tell you how he was compelled to work. Notwithstanding, it was a long weekend. Notwithstanding, it was a public holiday, as the workers of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas celebrated Sir Randall Fox Labor Day. Well, even though I did attend the Labor Day parade, and due to old age and sickness, I stood at the very top of East Street Hill opposite Jail Alley, but just to the south of Mortimer Candy Kitchen, or Mortimer Kitchen Candy. It's one of those names, and there I saluted thousands of workers as they pass. But notwithstanding that, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, there are many citizens who have eye problem. So, even though it was a holiday, I was preoccupied receiving texts, information of people who I am happy to say are registering with me so that I can forward it to Dr. Michael Dowell. Now I am beginning to see the rewards of it as citizens are slowly beginning to make contact with me to tell me how happy they are that they have been called in and that they shall be heading to Cuba for their eye treatment. So basically between, should I say, Friday and today, I've had 2 Negro citizens, 2 men, who've been so excited. They cannot believe this miracle. And I try to explain to them, it isn't me. I'm only facilitating a wonderful program that Dr. Michael Dowell and the Progressive Liberal Party has introduced. So I'm going to show you a Negro man. He's about 69 years old. And of course, his name, let's see, what is his name? His name is Samuel Maxwell Cartwright. And Samuel Maxwell Cartwright is like the thousands of Bahamian men and women who have problems with their eyes and who have found themselves where their eyes hurt them due to a variety of eye diseases, including cataract. So when he came to my government office, and he was brought there by a very good friend, and I wanted to find out what his issue was, and he said he had a problem with his eye and he need emergency assistance. So immediately I summoned Marcus Louis, who assists me at my government office. I said, Marcus, we're going to take his information and we're going to send his information to Dr. Michael Dowell now. And by grab, I was so excited that around 2:30, he showed up at my Black Village residence to announce that he has been selected to go to Cuba. And I said, they're sending you to Cuba? He said, yes. So I said, when will you go to Cuba? He said, he will leave this Friday. I was so excited. I didn't know what to do. And then, of course, I then said, is everything fine? Well, he told me 1 or 2 small situations that he has. And then, of course, I called the passport office and they said to me, Monica, we are working on his matter now to ensure that he will go to Cuba to have his eyes fixed. And so I want to say to Bahamians, you have to have faith. You have to go either to the government-owned eye clinic or to the various clinics, either here on the island of New Providence and or on the Family Island, and register. And if you think that you're not being successful, remember, I am authorized by the Health Minister, Dr. Michael Dowell, to register people. And listen to me, I feel like a big shot. I feel powerful. I feel happy to know that Dr. Michael Dowell has bestowed this great influence on me where I can register and send the names to him. And then the greatest that I'm feeling is when citizens began to contact me and say, we have been to Cuba and we could see well, or we are on our way to Cuba. So for heaven's sake, let's not have any pride, okay? This is what you elect a government for, so that the government can facilitate you and ensure that you have what we call socialized medicine. And I want you to know it wasn't the PLP who introduced socialized medicine to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. It was my old party, the UBP, the Conquijor people. We introduced socialized medicine. Then when Pinling and the PLP came to power, they further push it and continue the socialization of medicine to the extent that here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, those of us who cannot afford to pay for medication, the government provides it. Those of us who need surgery and we are not able to afford it, the government, through its socialized policy, provides it. And now one of the greatest programs that I've ever seen in my lifetime, and that is this bold initiative, which has been initiated by Dr. Michael Dowell and the Progressive Liberal Party, which is to fix your eye. I have a whole woman, I don't want to call her Negro because she got nice little color and nice long curly hair. But her children look Negro to me, but she don't look Negro to me. She looks like she's from somewhere in the back of Long Island, Conky Jewish. But obviously, she had a Negro husband. Well, her eyes are hurting her. And she called me, I think as recent as Sunday, to complain to me over how her eyes are hurting her. So perhaps this afternoon when I'm knocked off, I'm going to have to send Dr. Michael Dowell a text and say to him, listen, this woman's eye is really hurting her, because she calls and she cries and she complains how her cataract is hurting her. So we have to stamp out cataract, which perhaps is caused by a variety of reasons. Perhaps among them are old people. Most of the people who have it are old, and there's some young people, okay? So this is powerful. Dr. Michael Dowell, wherever you are, forward, upward, onward, together. God save Dr. Michael Dowell. God save the eye program. Send your names. This is powerful. God save the King. What a wonderful day in Nassau. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, do we have any advertisement?
Yes, we got one ad that, of course, we can read. Everybody needs money, always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today and send cash instantly to a family member or friend, anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. MoneyMax, live your max life. And this is powerful.
Thank you, my spiritual advisor. That is very powerful indeed.
Absolutely.
So, folks, there has been some things happening over the weekend, which has us very concerned because we have had a murder. There has been a murder, and I'm very concerned in our society when there is a murder taking place in our society. And so we need to be able to do something about the many killings that are taking place. And I think the murder count is now about 53. And as I understand it, a Negro male was perhaps heading home, and he was traveling like south off of Wolf Road, one of those corners just east of where Bishop Black Church is located, and apparently he was confronted shortly after 12:30 a.m. and he was shot multiple times, 19-year-old, and they rushed him to the hospital, and I'm advised that perhaps around 11:30 this morning, the medical practitioners, they couldn't do any more to save his life, and he perished. 19 years old, as you know, is a teenager, is but a lad. But in our society, it has become so reckless, so dangerous, that life is no longer important. And so that perhaps now raises the count. If not to 52 murders, then it's 53 murders in our society. So that is what is taking place. It's very tragic. And notwithstanding all the noise in the market, all the noise coming from the politician, no one has been able to say, how are we going to put a dent in it, even though there is a way to do it, but we have been caught up in the politics of the world where we are not prepared to punish. And so young people and old people are aware that they can commit certain criminal offenses and they will never be called upon to suffer the consequences, the maximum consequences of committing murder. And the maximum consequences is capital punishment. But we have become so sophisticated. We have been influenced by the thinking of Nazism. And you would recall that just on the 6th of this month, the free world celebrated D-Day. D-Day is the landing in France at a place called Normandy, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, where they liberated France from the clutches of Nazism, from the clutches of Gestapoism, establishing freedom in this part of the world and in fact in the world. So we have been reminded by that major celebration, and if you have been following world news, you would see that the President of the United States, he would have landed in France. There he would have greeted the French president, and you would have seen how they saluted the last survivors of that generation who stood up. Youthful people, these were young people, these were teenagers, and many of them made the maximum sacrifice so that we could destroy Nazism, Gestapoism. And Nazism and Gestapoism is the same kind of practices to be seen in the Bahamas, where people can commit these kind of crimes and they're not accountable, they're not punished. And then, of course, we're beginning to see the rise of Nazism in the world. And it is a history that many of our people have not studied. They have not studied the rise and the fall of Adolf Hitler and Nazi Germany, and the role that Japan played when the Americans were compelled to drop at least 2 atomic weapons in Japan, just obliterating perhaps 2 of Japan's biggest cities in perhaps August of 1945. So we are reminded, and that's what we are faced with here in the Bahamas, a hidden piece of Nazism, a hidden piece of Gestapoism, where in your society the criminal class can establish a Nazi ring. And if those of us who are responsible for the enforcement of the law comes up with the argument as to why we should not hang, as to why we should not punish, it's not very good for your society. So a 19-year-old is killed, and depending on the circumstances, we perhaps could see retaliation. Perhaps we can see where no one respects the law, because many of us are upset when our relatives are killed, and we can see the gunman on the street as if he is a conquering hero. So that's what we're faced with, and it's still pathetic, it's still terrible that our young men are so immune. It's terrible, but there's only one solution to this problem, and that is the reintroduction of capital punishment. And it is by capital punishment that the convicted murderer will suffer death. Him. See, we're not concerned about whether or not it will be what do you call it? For the other guy. Help me with that word. Why some people say we shouldn't hang, because it will not be a deterrent. But we're not concerned about whether or not it is a deterrent for you or me. If we learn from that, then it's powerful. If we don't, then we will suffer the same consequences of the law. So that is a very tragic thing, that whoever that 19-year-old Negro lad is, that he would have suffered death. And then we saw also on the weekend a traffic accident on the Queens Highway in Long Island, where a truck heading in the opposite direction, perhaps he was heading south and the lady was heading north, or vice versa, and something went wrong. There was a collision and she perished. She died. So that's a very sad situation.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, yeah. So these are some of the things that continue to happen in our society, as we do not want to obey traffic laws. For some reason, we think that the island is very, very big. I mean, Long Island is bigger than the island of New Providence, but still Long Island is very small. And then we see during bad weather, people pick up speed. And so that is very, very tragic. So we have to continue to remind ourselves that we should obey the traffic laws, that we should take our time and we should constantly talk traffic law, talk proper driving at the breakfast table, at the dinner table, at home with our young people. I think that becomes very important, isn't it, my spiritual advisor?
Yeah, the thing with the family island center is that, the roads are long and there's a tendency to, speed. The speed is not regulated, Santa.
It is not regulated?
Yeah, because very rarely you will see a police officer on the streets. Like, say, for instance, when I go to Exuma,
Yeah.
you drive how you want to, because
Really?
yeah, there's no speed cops. They don't have speed cops on the road. So that's it doesn't mean that you should be speeding, but that's just one of those things with family islands.
Okay.
There is this tendency because the roads are long. If they're paved properly, that is basically a free for all. But we know the danger with speed. It doesn't shorten the road. It shortens your life, But it is what it is.
Well, that's very interesting. Well, talking about speed and traffic, I want to talk about dog. Today, I accompanied a police officer at the government's own, forgive me if I do not call the name properly, but I'll try to describe it to you. Under the Ministry of Health, they have a dog compound. And there are many dogs in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who have not been regulated by their owners. So what do I mean by that? The law requires that every dog should have a license. Is your neighbor dog licensed? And the law requires that your dog should be confined to your property. And is your dog confined to your property? In Fox Hill last week, we had a Negro student who was attacked viciously by two dogs. And of course, justice has not prevailed in it. And so we have to get the police to recognize that there are laws governing dogs. And so if a person comes to a police station and reports that they or their children or their neighbors have been attacked by a dog, the police is supposed to investigate to find out who is the dog, what is the name of the dog. And I'm certain that every dog is required to have a name. Take for instance me, I have cats, and perhaps I have about 13, maybe 14 cats that has returned with me to Black Village. And just yesterday my son said to me, do you know only one of the cat is named? So I argued with him. So he said to me, what is the name of that cat? So I said, that cat name is Jeremiah. He said, but that's a girl. I said, yeah, I don't mind, it's a girl. That girl named Jeremiah. The point that I make is I got about perhaps 11 more cats that I have to name, and maybe tomorrow when I see Marcus, I will say to Marcus, Marcus, you have to help me to name these cats, because animals should be named, dogs should be named, they should be licensed, they should be registered. So I accompanied the police officer with a view to having animal control to go into Fox Hill and capture the dog. And I told animal control, I don't know if the law gives me the authority as a justice of the peace to sign a warrant to arrest the dog. But I'm going to ask Maine Monroe quietly. And if there is no power for me to sign a warrant, I will ask Monroe to quickly move legislation into Parliament so that I, as a justice of the peace, can order the arrest of a dog. Because the law allows me to sign a warrant of arrest for any citizen whom the police alleges has committed a crime. So certainly I should be able to order animal catchers to capture the dog. Well, what do you think they agree to do? If a JP shows up and a police officer, they are very cooperative, and I'm waiting because I've asked that is immediately as they catch the dog, I want them to send me a photograph so that I can see if the dog has been captured. I also want the police to know that a dog that is not licensed, it is an offense. A dog that comes out in the street and the dog is not properly chained, that is an offense. So that's two offenses right there that I've identified. And if the dog attacks a citizen, a child, well, certainly that is another offense. And for many citizens, they may raise the question, why am I looking at such a minute situation? It really isn't. Here in the Bahamas, dogs have killed children. And there are so many vicious, vicious dogs. And I'd like to see the Commissioner of Police ensuring that the police, in a very humane manner, have these dogs reported and captured. Because what they did to that student last week, I'm very displeased with what has happened, because in the District of New Providence appeared before me a citizen who protested. And while I'm a justice of the peace within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, that citizen lives in the eastern part of the island, and I'm certain that there must be some justice of the peace who's living in the Eastern District, but I have no problem if citizens report it to me. I want those two dogs arrested, and I don't want no nonsense, and I don't have to come down to Fox Hill to row and carry on, because I'm certain that if I showed up in Fox Hill, the people of Fox Hill, they would be very upset to know that I am there rowing to arrest their dog. So to the people of Fox Hill, every dog must have a license, and you must put a rope on the dog, and you must protect the school children. I don't want to receive no more reports of any school child being attacked by any dog. Would you like to comment on that, my spiritual advisor?
Well, Senator, we have a huge stray dog problem in this country. I mean, dogs all over the place. But we do see some residents who do take precautionary measures to make sure their dogs are confined to the property. Some people do it, and some people don't. So we really need to pay attention to these dog owners who apparently, for some strange reason, don't think that their dogs should be confined to their property, right?
Yes.
Because there are times when you go walking and you have to walk with a stick in your hand. Because when you're walking, the dogs run out the yard into the road at you. That should not be.
Okay.
So, Senator, and I just hope it doesn't happen. So if I'm bitten by a dog that comes out of somebody's yard on the street, can I sue them?
Of course you can.
Okay. That's interesting.
Any dog that lives in your yard, the presumption is you are the owner.
What if it's a stray dog
If
and I miss and feed him twice?
if a stray dog moves in,
My yard.
you are
It's
presumed
assumed it's my dog.
yeah,
Wow.
because certainly the dog would not have moved in.
Yeah, so I got rid of those two stray dogs. I now have cats.
Okay,
I have 9 cats.
really?
Yeah, man.
This is
Yeah.
powerful.
And since I've had those 9 cats,
Yes.
I haven't had a rat problem.
Really?
I haven't had a snake problem.
Really?
I haven't had a lizard problem.
Wow.
I haven't had a roach problem.
Really?
No.
Your cat eat roach?
Man, they just eat everything, man.
Wow, this is
As a matter
powerful.
of fact, I don't feed them cat food.
Really?
They just eat peas and rice, steamed pork chop, potato salad,
Yeah.
coleslaw. Yeah, man. My cats eat coleslaw.
Which day you serve that? That sounds delicious.
My cats eat crack kong.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Shucks.
They don't eat no cat food. Cat food, no, man. They be hemming cats. Man, I just feed them anything what I eat. They eating dope.
You're a good
They
citizen.
just eat Burger King,
Really?
Wendy's,
Wendy's too?
McDonald's.
Really?
Man, listen, I have one cat. He like that biscuit from Kentucky.
Yeah, the
with
muffin?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, man. Once I threw that,
Uh-huh.
he snatched that and run.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love cats, man. They help me out quite a bit. Most people in certain areas have a rodent problem, and we are aware that for some strange reason the government doesn't have any rat poison for a whole year and a half.
Well, get cats.
And so we have a rodent problem, especially in the Oaksville area. I understand the rats are taking over Oaksville.
How come?
I don't know. But
What
just
part of
Oaksville? There's a corner cross road from Sanpin Motors.
Yes.
That area. I hear that whole area.
Oh, that's
It's
called...
infested with rats,
That's
man.
Davis Street.
Davis Street.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that the preacher from the church there hasn't complained to DHS about
Well, they might be praying
the rats. And these some big rats,
They
man.
might be
Sandra.
praying the rats away.
These some big rats. So the rats have taken over simply because the government doesn't have rat poison.
Really?
That's crazy. Mind you, they told me to tell you that you have to find a way to get whoever's in charge of the Ministry for the Environment to find a way to get the Department of Environmental Health here on Farrington Road,
Right.
get them a supply of rat poison. Because the area that they're in, that Farrington Road, Davis Street, Oaksville area, infested.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Well, I will have to
infested
meet with
rats.
Minister Warren Miller.
Miller.
And I'm certain Warren Miller will find some rat poison. I believe they ran out of rat poison. You would recall that...
For a year and a half?
Well, about a year and a half, the rat bite me. You remember when the rat bite me?
No,
And I
don't know.
row, and I carry on. And they bought all the rat poison, and they threw it all over Market Street.
Yeah, the best
Yeah.
thing, the best solution for rats is cats.
Well,
That's guaranteed.
I do have 13 cats.
I get 9. I don't catch you. I get 9.
Really?
I think I see about 3 or 4 little babies just come around.
Really?
A black one, a gray and white one, a grayish and white one.
Okay.
So I don't catch up, Sandra.
Well, I
I just
my
haven't
cats.
named them yet, but I got a lot of cats.
I keep talking to my cat
Kittens.
because I'm opposed to incest.
Okay.
And every time...
That's right. The incest doesn't apply to the animal farmers.
That is not true.
They could do whatever they want to do.
That is not true. Incest is a sin,
Man.
and scientifically, animals should not commit incest.
It doesn't apply to animal
It
kingdom.
does, my spiritual advisor. This is scientific.
Okay.
All right? If I tell you, who got more cat?
You got more than me.
Who got more pussy than you?
You.
Right, right. So, what are you talking about?
That's amazing.
I have 13 pussycat, and so I am an expert in it. So, that's what it is.
The church is going to disfellowship me.
Huh?
Anyhow,
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's powerful.
Indeed.
Well, you recall, I think it was on Thursday that I drew to your attention that there was a cultural dispute in the Valley Boys Junkanoo group,
They split.
and I'm very disappointed
It's crazy.
that Perry Gladstone Christie, a former leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, a former prime minister, and everybody know that Perry Christie is a cultural icon, and I'm disappointed that notwithstanding that Perry Christie is from the Valley, that he is well respected in the Valley, he has not stepped forward to bring cultural peace and unity in the Valley. And so Christie's going to have to do something about it. Other than that, I'm going to have to go into the Valley to meet with the Junkanoo fellas. And I'm very disturbed that there is this dispute. Many people are not aware that historically there used to be a competition called We Russian. And when you hear We Russian, that would normally be two opposing Junkanoo group rushing towards each other, charging towards each other, clashing with their goat skins, their cowbells, their bugles. And that is how they settle cultural scores. But the Valley Boys should unite to take on the Saxon. Because I was in Mason Addition. I drove through Mason Addition on Labor Day, taking a shortcut. And as I drove through Mason Addition, I was shocked to see that the Saxons were united. The Saxon represented one cultural force. And I thought it was exciting that the Saxon brought love and unity, and we would recall that notwithstanding that the Saxon had suffered a number of defeats, the Saxon bounced back. Certainly, the Valley Boys can do the same thing. God save the Valley Boys. When will Perry, Gladstone, Christie unite the Valley Boys? I mean the Saxon. No, the Valley Boys. This is powerful. God save the Valley Boys. God save the King. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and it is birthday time. Bradley?
Yeah, we got a couple birthday shout-outs to do. We can do them quickly. Let's see, who do we have first? We want to send a birthday shout-out to Cheryl Cooper. Birthday's It's coming from her husband, Milton, her sister, Cheryl, Margot, and Kimberly, her son, Ashton, and of course, her Andrews family. So happy birthday to Cheryl Cooper. And then, of course, Gail Rutherford. You understand, a belated birthday shout out to her. It's coming from her mom. Her daughter, Latoya, and grands, Emmanuel and Lael Brown. So, belated birthday shout out to Gail Rutherford. All right. We also want to send a birthday shout out request to Sonia Aubrey over the Ministry of Tourism. Happy birthday to you. It's coming from your daughter and your granddaughter. So happy birthday to Sonia Aubrey. It's a special shout out also to Sheila Shane, School Big Plana Academy, Cleveland Aeneas. Special shout out to you, Sheila Shane. And of course, congratulations goes out to Donna Smith on her graduation from NCA. She's coming from her aunt and a Grammy and all the family. So congratulations to Donna Smith. Sandra, that is all the birthdays and congratulations for the day.
Well, we join the spiritual advisor in wishing everybody a happy birthday and congratulations for whatever wonderful thing that you are doing. My spiritual advisor, you want to read that ad again?
Oh yeah, we got one ad. Money Max, I think is the ad that we have on top. Live your max life. Money Max. Everybody needs money always, so why not send money internationally and locally through Money Max? Of course, you can use Western Union. Download the Money Max app today. Send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime, anywhere. Sending money has never been more simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. Money Max. Live your max life.
I thank you, my spiritual advisor. Well, folks, as I told you earlier, the weekend was very tragic. We spoke about an incident which occurred in Long Island, and then we told you about the death of a Negro male, 19-year-old, who was shot and died today. Well, in Hunters, in Grand Bahama, apparently there was a jet ski accident that turned fatal. So let's see what the media is telling us so that the people of Grand Bahama will be aware that a body was found after jet ski overturns. And the body of Deshaun Russell, a 25-year-old from Hunters, was found in the waters near Coral Beach on Saturday morning following a jet ski accident on Labor Day. A local boater involved in search and rescue efforts found the body a half-mile offshore around 9:20 a.m. Police responded. Russell went missing around 5 p.m. on Friday after the jet ski he was on encountered a wave and overturned. Police, the Defense Force, and residents involved in search and rescue efforts could not locate him and suspended their search at about 8 p.m. Chief Superintendent Sherry Amelie, who heads the Southwestern Police Station in Port Lucaya, reported that at approximately 5:20 p.m., the police received reports of a jet ski operator who was hit by a wave and overturned in the water. She said bystanders on the beach swam out to assist but could not locate him, and police were contacted. Chief Superintendent Amelie said police, Marine Support Services, and Defense Force officers responded and conducted a search of the waters. Family members had also gathered at the beach after learning about what took place. So that was a very tragic incident. So once again, we have to say to people in the boating industry, you are required to wear a life jacket. I understand when you're 25, you want to show off, you want to prove that you are a man, you want to demonstrate your sexual abilities, but the sea is always dangerous. Waves can be very deadly, but if you have on a life jacket, you stand the chances of surviving. And I think it is tragic when young people die under those circumstances. So it's a very tragic situation, my spiritual advisor.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, let's see what else is happening. Well, here it says 2 dead and 1 hurt as boat hits reef. So here is another accident. 2 men are dead and another seriously injured after their boat hit a reef near Rose Island. Police said the men left a marina on East Bay Street around 6 a.m. headed for St. Andrews, but struck the reef in their open hull vessel. Police were notified at about 9:30 a.m. of the bodies being found unresponsive in the water. And so they say objects received from the location after the boat accident. And so a passing vessel rescued the injured man and brought him to Harbor Patrol Base, from where he was taken to hospital, where he is said to be in serious but stable conditions. So Chief Superintendent Chrislyn Skipping said the vessel had struck a reef and the 3 men were ejected from the boat. She also urged boaters to be extremely cautious. I don't know if you've ever visited that key. I visited that key. I was the guest of a citizen who once a year take distinguished Negro men for a picnic. And I was also the guest of a man who was his guest. And the man who was his guest and his wife owned a nice tract of land at Rose Island. And Rose Island, while it's a beautiful island, if you don't follow some basic rules, it can be deadly. So I'm quite familiar with that water. And so I've stopped swimming in the waters of Rose Island due to the fact that in more recent time, we have allowed foreigners to come and feed the sharks. So I'm surprised that they were not eaten by sharks, but I'm quite familiar with Rose Island. I do have 2 men that I know. I don't want to call their names because I don't want to show off, but there are 2 men that I know who have a sizable piece of land at Rose Island, and I happen to have been their guests. So we need to tell our people to be more responsible. And the next thing is, if you understand the geography of the Bahamas, I don't know if they're teaching geography. I have to ask Glenys Hanna Martin, the education minister, are we still teaching local geography? If you study geography, you will know that there are many shoals, many rocks, many inlets, many, little keys and things like that. And they can be dangerous if you are not paying attention, and particularly if you set sail and you're drunk. If you set sail and you're smoking dope, and in the country, as we agitate for the legalization of what they call, whatever that marijuana call, everybody's now into smoking dope and puffing away, and with that nice breeze, you could smoke dope, and the next thing you know, you get so high, you think you are above the wave until you crash into some of those terrible shoals. So it's a very sad thing, and it appears that gone are the days when parents used to say to their sons, when they hear that they're setting sail to sail throughout the archipelago of the Bahamas, they used to say, now, boy, be careful, eh? There's a lot of shoal. Now, they don't say it, but perhaps that is what we need to do. Boy, be careful, there's plenty shoals, and in more recent time, there's plenty shark. Although in recent time, it appears that the shark has discovered the state of Florida. You would recall that we've had a number of shark attacks on the tourist dam here in the Bahamas, and I told you what it was. I said the shark knows that these tourists is white people, and people said I was being racist. There's nothing racist about that. The shark know white people because white people is feed dumb animals. You ever say that? White people just feed shark, they feed fish, they feed goat, sheep, chicken, they feed all kind of things. Now the shark has figured out that the tourism from Florida. So in more recent time, we've had perhaps like 3 sharks who left the Bahamas. They're Bahamian sharks, I know them. And they went to the state of Florida, and they have attacked the tourism who live in the state. And all that talk that the governor of the state of Florida has. You remember him? Who wanted to bomb us if we attack Florida? Well, I want him to bomb them shark. It's amazing. Finally, he has an opponent. And all them shark doing is biting up them white people in the state. At least the people them look white to me. And when I told you all that these shark love white people, and many people told me that white meat is nice meat. So that's what's going on. And I look forward to the governor of the state of Florida. If he is bad, I want him to go in the water in the state of Florida and take on them bull shark. Because them bull shark, they ain't no bull skater, so I don't know. But it's exciting. So my spiritual advisor.
Yeah, now, one of the questions that I had in my mind when I saw this very terrible accident with this particular vessel, Senator.
Yes.
For those who have boats, I understand that these vessels are supposed to have, what do you call it again now, a GPS system on it, right?
Okay.
Now I'm not educated in that field, but I'm thinking, now the waters and the territory of the Bahamas, we are like about 700 islands, and we are almost like, what, 2,400 keys or something of that nature?
The Bahamas comprise
of 700 islands, right?
And 2,000 rocks and keys.
Right.
Scattered over.
And reefs. We have a lot of reefs as well, right?
Scattered over
100,000 square miles.
Yes.
Now, here's what I'm trying to figure out, and maybe when we take the calls, because I'm very interested in this. If you have a, let's just say you have a 33-foot Intrepid, all right? And this boat is equipped with all the latest equipment, inclusive of the GPS system. I'm wondering if the GPS system would show you the location of every single key or rock that's in your path.
Yes, it will.
It will?
Yeah.
Wow. So what happened?
I don't know.
How did they run into that? How did they run into
that? A couple of years ago, I took a secret trip on a mailboat heading to Long Island with the former FNM member of Parliament for St. Anne's. The Chipman man, what's his name? And
Chipman.
Yeah, Chipman. He used to be the F&M member
Okay.
of Parliament.
Okay.
And what's
What's
his
his
name?
name?
Hubert Chipman.
Hubert Chipman.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I decided, for secretive reason, I will meet with him in the captain's cabin. I did trust the captain.
Mm-hmm.
And as we sat around all of the instruments.
Mm-hmm. So there's a console, right?
Yeah.
And
And
what's,
so
what's
we
at the
were-
center? What's at the center of the console?
Well,
is it a GPS thing? It should be that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
thinking.
there is another word that I want to use, but I can't think of the word yet. at
Another
some
word for
point.
what? To describe the
To
instrument?
describe the instrument. And so we stood there because I needed to make sure that Hubert Chipman and I got to Long Island safely, because I wasn't sure who all in the F&M knew that he and I were secretly meeting. And we were able to read the instrument. We were able to see all the shoals as we head towards Long Island. And once I became comfortable that there would be no accident, Hubert Chipman and I, we talk all kind of political secrets. Secret. All right? So,
Yeah. So, I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I can't understand unless the system malfunction. But I'm thinking that these boats,
they may not have had any.
They spend so much money for these.
They may not have had any.
Wow.
Don't forget now.
So what? How were they driving? They were driving by. What? Mind you, who's the
difficult.
captain? Who's the captain of this boat here?
I don't know. The captain may have drunk.
But
I
they seem
don't
to
know.
be. They seem to be police officers.
These were police officers?
That's what it seems like.
Oh, well,
It seemed like these men who were
Well, I
in
have
this
to talk to
accident,
Monroe. They must have been-
were senior police officers.
they must
either
have been
retired.
undercover.
Yeah, because one of the police officers did have a gun. And
Really?
They did. Yeah, they recovered a gun. The gun was licensed.
Okay.
Of course, these were.
And he
these
was a
were
serving
men.
policeman?
The gun I'm thinking that was discovered was a police officer who was on the force.
He was on duty?
I don't know if he's on
Oh, I have
duty.
to have an investigation. The commissioner of police is going to have to immediately investigate to tell me,
That was strange.
how is it that we can have law enforcement officers crashing? We have the defense force, all right? And we have the mail boats going to Exuma. I'm certain that if they were on board the Captain Moxie, they would have gotten to Andres safe and sound, because usually when I'm traveling to Andres, I travel on the Captain Moxie, and the founding captain has given instruction to all of the Moxies. They have been instructed that whenever I board the Captain Moxie, they are to immediately take me to the captain cabin. And that is where I would normally hang out, and that is where they will dine me. So I haven't been on the Captain Moxie for a long time heading to Andres, but I just love when I go on the Captain Moxie, because immediately for the new generation, I just remind them, I said, now listen, do you know that your great-grandfather has left instruction that whenever I board this boat, I am to be taken to the captain cabins. Man, have you ever been to the captain cabins?
I've been on a fountain. I've been on a 32-foot executioner.
The captain cabin is where the captain lives.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. I thought you were talking about the controls.
No. I'm taken to the captain cabins where I am dined. So I don't know. They didn't tell me that there was Crab Fest. You know, I didn't know they were having Crab Fest.
And this was when?
Somebody told me Crab Fest over. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, this weekend, a lot of Bahamians went to one of the islands. Was it Long Island or Eleuthera?
Some went to Eleuthera.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
On the MV Arabian. And do you know the MV Arabian did not invite me to Eleuthera, and the Captain Moxie didn't invite me to Andres. But I'm not.
Yeah, I thought
upset
you were
over
going to
that.
get a free trip, actually.
No, I vacation right here in Black Village.
Yeah, but it does seem as if a lot of Bahamians over the holiday weekends did go to Family Island, which is good. It's
Yeah.
a good thing.
It's good for the
that-
economy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that on holiday weekends, Bahamians, rather than, traveling to the United States to boost the economy there, they travel to the family islands
Okay.
where they can use Airbnb and go to all the local.
What they using?
They can Airbnb.
Listen.
Airbnb. Give me a second, Xander. Airbnb has taken off tremendously in this country. You
I gotta let immigration
You
know
can
that.
go to any family island and rent some really beautiful homes, apartments, condos. It's just
Really?
Yeah, man.
Are they reasonable?
Yeah, some of them. Like
Are
say
they
for instance,
affordable?
like say for instance, if you decide for holiday weekend, like the next holiday is what? The
When?
next holiday is what? What are we? June, July.
Yeah.
The next holiday is July the 10th.
Independence?
No. When's the next holiday, Mr. Lucer?
I think it's July 10th.
July 10th?
Yeah.
Huh? Okay, Independence Day.
Right.
So, you know, well, the majority of people are going to probably be here on the island of Providence, but if you go to a family island, you could probably rent like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house for about $800-900 a night.
All of that?
3-bedroom,
My
2-bathroom.
spiritual advisor.
You can have at least 6 people in this,
My spiritual advisor.
right? And if
I want you
everybody's
to
paying
find me-
$250, you know,
Listen,
hey,
for how many
it's
days?
maybe 3 days.
For 3 days?
Yeah.
No, man. Listen.
You can rent out, we
to
can
the
rent out for
people-
$1,200, you know, for 3 days maybe.
To the
And
people of
it's
Tappan
reasonable.
Bay, I want you to know that I'm a Carey. And I need 3 nights for independence. Okay? 3 nights and 3 rooms. And I only paying $300 because I got no plenty money.
And then you got kitchen.
They got
You get
kitchen.
used to the kitchen.
And I need somebody to cook for me.
You know, you can cook your food at home.
This is powerful.
You know, some of them even provide transportation.
Really?
You know? Yeah, man.
The-
So
I thought-
it's reasonable. It's,
I thought-
it's much reasonable.
I thought the
Don't get
minister
wrong.
said that was illegal.
What's that?
Where people are providing transportation. You're not trying to get people occupied.
Well, they wouldn't know that. They'll never find that out.
How you mean?
How they can find it out?
I'm law abiding. As soon as they
Mind you, I'm not encouraging folks to break the law, but how would they know?
Well, I would tell the minister. I say, Minister, they picking me up. Is this against the law?
Anyhow, but yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I want to go to Tappan Bay because Perry Christie and we have some cousins, and they've not seen me in a long time, and I'm certain they have not seen Christie. Well, we had a man charged with murder of a man on Burnett Road. Goodness of mercy. So that's one criminal offense. And then what else did we have? Opposition MPs are expected to return to the House of Assembly today. And you would recall that I did tell you on Thursday how the Speaker of the Honorable Senate, Miss Patricia DeVoe, her and Michael Pintard, they had one piece of breakdown in the Honorable House of Assembly. And Monday, they row. It was row, row, row. And when the Speaker couldn't take that anymore, she ordered the police to evict him and 3 other opposition members of Parliament, namely the County Joe Member of Parliament for Anstown. That would be Adrian White. And then there was the opposition deputy leader and the MP for St. Barnabas, that's Shannon Cartwright. And Crazy Thompson, they all grab onto Michael Pintard and would not allow the police to throw him out. So Wayne Monroe called for a 5-minute adjournment. That's how they got him out. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. When we return, we'll open up the telephone line. Happy Labor Day. Be right back. Hold on, everybody. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor. And of course, we're going to open up the phone to take calls. But once again, I want to remind members of the public, even if you have not heard your name yet, Help and Hope are on the way. I want to show you a man who's been so excited. He came to my home this afternoon so that I can join in celebrating with him that he will go to Cuba and thank God for this government social program where those people who have eyesight problems, people who have cataract, people who have different eye problems. For heaven's sake, register and let's go to Cuba until the American doctors arrive, until the Chinese doctors arrive. Get ready. Let's go to Cuba. Let's get these cataract removed. Let's improve these eyesights. Let's make sure that you live comfortably. So I really want to thank Dr. Michael Dowell and the Progressive Liberal Party. I was so excited when 69-year-old Maxwell Cartwright, he showed up to tell me, listen, I am on my way to Cuba. Man, isn't it powerful that he's on his way to Cuba? So that's Maxwell Samuel Cartwright. He is 69 years old. And he's one of the people them. And let me tell you, send your names to me. All right? My number is 801-5760. WhatsApp it. Tell me your name. Tell me your age. Tell me the island you live in. Send me a reliable telephone and or cell number. And give me an idea what's wrong with your eye. And we're going to send it to Dr. Michael Dowell, who has a team of people waiting. And what a wonderful day for Samuel Maxwell Cartwright, 69 years old, who is on his way to Cuba on Friday. This is powerful. And then, of course, Bradley, what is the police doing on Wednesday the 12th? Would you please show the spiritual advisor? You see what the police
I think they're doing it does seem as if the gang reduction intervention program
Yes.
GRIP
Okay.
is going to be initiated. I don't know if this is the first one,
Okay.
but apparently the Baytown Community Prayer and Evangelism Walkabout is going to be held Wednesday the 12th of June at 6:30 p.m. They're going to be walking Cameron, Market, and Martin Streets, okay? The meeting point, of course, is Blue Hill and Hay Street. And the...
What time are they
hold on,
starting?
this is the blue thing at the bottom. Let me see if I can get... Meeting point, Blue Hill and Hay Streets. The CONT, Apostle Henry Higgins. He has a telephone number. This GRIP, which is the Gang Reduction and Intervention Program, does seem as if it is a policing effort in the Baytown community. It's going to be prayer and evangelism walkabout Wednesday the 12th of June, 6:30 p.m. Walking Cameron, Market, and Market Streets. The meeting point, of course, is Blue Hill and Hay Streets. Very
This is
interesting.
powerful.
GRIP. Wow.
So, folks, get ready
Indeed.
to welcome them on Wednesday. Did you tell me what time it's starting?
6:30 p.m.
6:30 p.m. It's powerful.
They're going to be meeting at Market and Hay Streets.
Okay. So that's in the Bainstown and Grandstown constituency. Well, Bradley, you can now answer the phones.
Yeah. Isn't there a big church building at the corner of Market and Hay Streets?
On the corner of Market
and Hay Street.
and Hay Street.
There's not a
There is a church
building.
which is at the corner of Blue Hill Road and Hay Street.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just behind the gas station.
Okay.
Just opposite the Ovaltine Crest Old Homestead lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, 323-7775. The lines open up. The lines open. Call us, please. 323-7775-698. 0775-698-0776. You can call us. We got about 21 minutes to entertain some calls. Call us if you want to. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Hello.
You're live, caller. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rodmanka,
So,
and good afternoon, Spiritual Advisor.
Good afternoon, sir.
I hear you to talk about you have some cat,
yes, we do have cats.
Yeah, and they get rid of rats.
but they shed the big one.
Pardon?
They shed the big rat.
Oh, my cats are an expert. They're able to catch big rats.
My God, you get some rat now. They lay down and watch the rat run by.
Really?
Yeah.
You probably don't feed them well.
Or perhaps he feed them too well.
they didn't neighbor rat.
Okay.
But the solution for rat, the human people is kill out the snake, but it's eat the rat.
Okay.
Okay.
So the solution for the rat problem, if they stop killing all these snakes,
Okay.
you would have more snakes to eat these rats.
What kind of snake are you referring to?
The fall
The
snake.
fall snake. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about
You know,
undercutting.
you know, I'm superstitious.
Pardon?
Do you know that I am superstitious?
About snake?
Yeah, I believe snake is the devil,
Yeah.
and I believe that we should take
Yeah,
our cutlass and
chop
chop
their head off.
their heads
Most
off.
people have a phobia with snakes, man. You
Okay.
know, that's just one of those things. You know.
No,
But you're
because-
all right, though. You're all right. You're correct.
Yeah, I got it. That's the only solution for the rat.
Yeah.
You know?
And then you got to understand another reason why. You see, I had a neighbor who used to wake obia, and every time the snake came over, they said she was waking witchcraft. So all I did is grab the oil and throw it on the snake and start chopping. Okay?
I see, okay, they are spading this dog and spading cat.
They're
So they
spading.
can't spade rat.
Spade what?
Neuter. You're talking about neuter. To
Yeah, yeah, I
cause-
understand spade.
Yeah.
Um,
So they don't reproduce.
What else you want them to spade?
The rat.
Spade the rat from.
Well, they would spade the rat if you catch the rat and take it in.
But they get some families to spade them though.
Well, you can,
All right.
you can sell it,
Yeah.
take it, yeah.
All right, Carl. You take care of yourself now.
Yeah.
Do well.
All right.
It'll be right in your chop suey. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Hi, good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
And good afternoon, Mr. Rodney Bunker.
Hello, my dear.
How are you today?
Listen, I am
It's Mr.
fine.
Woman them.
Woman, behold your leader. What is on your mind?
Mr. Munker, did you listen to the budget debate today?
No. What in particular?
Let me give you the good news.
Let me hear it.
Our Prime Minister, Mr.
Yeah.
Philip Brave Davis,
Yes.
and Ms. Jobet Kobe Davis is going to put the cost of reduction July 2024. New Day government, first time ever, 200 kilowatts, zero, nothing we will be paying in July.
Really? Woman, you.
Mr. Munker,
you
you
talking-
listen to the budget debate.
No, I was so busy doing other work for the government.
Cost of BC will be go down.
Really?
Yes, sir. My
Okay.
government is working.
Well, we'll see.
But listen,
People's government is working.
I'm so happy
You sure?
to hear it.
Oh, yes, sir.
What else will be going down?
Well, we want, but definitely our Prime Minister also talking about, from last week, they're going to be looking at the civil servant salary.
They're going to give them more increase?
You know that. You know
Wow.
that. We're supposed to be getting more money also.
This is powerful.
Yes, the Bahamian people need it.
Yeah.
And the Prime Minister know at this time, if light bill is killing the Bahamian people.
Okay.
This month you go pay your light bill is 4. When you
Wow.
go next month, it's 6 or 700.
Well, I'll tell you
And that's killing all the
something.
Bahamian people.
I'm beginning to see the results of it because my light bill was $29. And when I was told it was $29, I told BPL, they're pulling a trick on me, go back and read the meter.
It's over.
And when they read the meter again, it was even cheaper than that.
Yeah, but anyhow, the Bahamas, our government is
Yeah.
going solar system.
Now,
We can't beat this.
who is our government?
The PLP,
Who's our government?
the PLP, Philip Brave Davis.
This is powerful. Well, I thank you.
This is powerful.
I thank you. Keep me up to
Okay,
date, eh?
spiritual advisor.
All right, take care now.
Okay, Mr. Munker.
Thank you, my love.
All right.
Okay.
Quite a bit. of
Isn't it wonderful? The news that PLP woman has brought to us. It's a new day. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Yeah, Mongo.
So,
Mr. Rowe.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Mongo, Ben Gandhi, for the people announced the solar family are
really?
awesome.
Really?
Yeah, but bottom line is, that is a good thing. There are no concerns.
Okay.
But this country's all about us. Our number one problem in this country is crime, illegal immigrants.
Okay.
That's what the prime minister needs to focus on.
Okay.
And get the prime minister secret.
Who's your MP?
The secret is about young fellas and young, young girls. They go to school, they come back home. You know what the jobs in the government?
Who?
Foreigner.
Who's your MP?
I don't have an MP, Mr. Monka.
What constituency do you live in?
I live in Barbados.
Well, you have a wonderful member of parliament in the
Yeah,
speaker.
but you mean figure out?
Yeah.
That was among the she is the governor. She's not fair, she's biased.
What has she done?
It's about the family. If you the speaker of Mr. Monka, as far as I'm concerned,
Yes.
you're supposed to be in between.
Yeah, neutral.
You're not supposed to be debating the PLP or the FM.
So what happens?
Right,
Hear me
you're
out.
supposed to go with what is right.
What happens if she tells the opposition leader that she has already heard his point? Now she wants the member of parliament to continue, and he refuses. What should she do?
Well, if he's wrong about what he's doing, then she should take action, necessary action.
Well, he was wrong, and she took action. Don't forget now.
If she taking action about the action, do what he's doing. But if he's wrong, what he's doing?
You see, Michael Pintard, as one of the man them of the House, he's gonna have to understand that the speaker don't want no chicken and licking in there, and if he doesn't listen, the speaker is going to row. And Michael should use more finesse and cooperate. Okay.
But caller, before you leave, let me just say this: that I've seen some clips with the speaker and the way she does things, and personally, if I was the Speaker of the House, I wouldn't do it that way.
Well,
you know?
I'm certain you would not have done it. You're
Yeah.
not a female.
She's not there.
Yeah, the way
Say that
she
again?
does things is
She's not
much
there, Mr.
different.
Monka.
You said she's not.
She's not there. I'm a PLP.
Well,
And
we
I
have.
just
Well, let me tell you, as a
She
PL,
doesn't treat the acronym.
so what you must do, as a PLP, you must go quietly and see her, explain to her, and ask her for her two hands.
I think the Prime Minister, Mr. Monk, is doing a great job, but he needs to address this crime situation.
Okay.
Get the people working, get these behaving people jobs,
Okay.
and that's what we need to focus on. You don't need to be distracted. Crime is not number one in this country.
Okay.
Caller, before you go, you ever witness how Dr. Kendall Major conducted himself in the House as Speaker?
With respect for everybody.
He's talking about Dr. Kendall Major, who lost his seat.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
But he was very professional.
It's not a good
Yeah.
example.
He was very professional, wasn't
lost.
he? Santa, we're
Let's
not
put it
discussing
like
that. We're discussing the way he conducted himself.
Yeah.
While
He
Speaker of the House.
conducted himself until they voted him out.
It's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carl.
You're welcome, man.
You take care.
Okay.
Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. 323-7775 is the number to call. 698-0775 and 698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live. Caller, you there?
Yes, I speak to Rodney Monk Bradley Road.
Speaking.
Speaking.
Bradley,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to agree with you with that speaker. That speaker, she has a nasty attitude, and she needs to get out of the House of Parliament. Kendall Major, Moultrie, from Pimpin was in power. She used the worst thing that ever been in the House of Parliament. And Brave Davis needs to get rid of her. Her attitude is stinks. And she needs to get out from there. And I agree with you, Spiritual Advisor, because everybody is watching that House of Parliament.
Yes.
She needs to go. She stinks.
We thank you for your comment. Next caller.
323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March, caller. You're live.
Hey, it's Rachel Advisor.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm a guy, Rodney Monka.
So,
This is Molly here.
hey Molly, how are you? Did you march on Friday?
No, ma'am, my leg didn't allow me to do it.
Okay, so what's up?
Then I called in to register one of your woman them for that cataracting and scuba thing you're doing there.
Okay.
Yeah, name is Audrey Beneby.
The call.
Okay. Why don't you call me on my cell number after about 6:30 and WhatsApp her name?
Man, I you know, I ain't got your cell number no more.
Well, I'm going to give it to you now. 801-5760. 801.
801-5760.
And you started by telling me it's you, Brother Molly. Then give
I
me
know.
give me the woman name. What island is she on?
New Providence.
This is powerful. Tell me how old she is.
68.
This is powerful. And send me reliable number because
Kevin, you're right. I'm on the phone right now calling you from my house because
Okay.
she watches you every day.
This is
and
great.
Every morning she watches a repeat the next morning.
so exactly 6 o'clock start WhatsApping it to me.
Okay, 801-57 what?
60.
60.
And let me tell you why it's important to give me the correct number. Dr. Dowell is test the number that I sent to him. And then he called me back and said, listen, you send me the number, but the people ain't answering.
Okay.
All right?
Well, I can send that. I can send all that information.
This is powerful. You take
Very
it
powerful
there.
indeed. Look like I tried to be at work, eh?
Listen, all we're doing is God's work. We're helping the people. We're not into their politics. All we want to know, there's people. All right?
For the Bahamas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And find me some F&M to put on that list, okay?
Not a problem. I will find some F&Ms to put on there.
This is powerful.
All right, thank you.
All
man.
right.
Yeah, man, take care. All right, 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Spiritual advisor.
Yes, sir. How are you?
That's what you get. I'm afraid.
Welcome to Freedom March, sir.
I got not really an incident, right?
All right. One second.
I got a first Saturday going. My brother Saturday, right?
All right, give us a second, caller. Producer, is there anything you can do with that call? We don't know what's happening, right? But your call is completely garbled.
Yeah.
And we have a tough time trying to understand what you're saying. Now, is it possible for you to go to another line and
Call us back.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Wait, hold on.
Let him call us
You
back.
sound clear now.
Oh, no, you hold on, Forstable. I have Forstable on the line.
Okay.
He's my uncle. My uncle, how are you?
I'm top shape.
What's on your mind, Unc?
I want you to come and get $500 to help those ladies with
With that?
with the female needs, you could call it.
Oh yeah, that's that government program opposite AID on Wolf Road.
Yeah. Come and get 500 for them, and come and let me send you to a foot doctor.
Okay, Uncle. I will come to get that $500. What is a good day to come for it?
You could come. Why not come tomorrow?
I'll come tomorrow, Uncle. I thank you very much, and you do well, eh?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, my call.
Thank you.
Right.
Folks, that is my uncle, Forrest Bow. My uncle was once one of the biggest UBP general. He ran for the UBP, and it was him who brought Sir Cecil Wallace Whitfield and the UBP together to form the F&M. Watch out for me! Watch out for me! All right? And I'm so excited
Proud
that my
of you.
uncle called in to donate $500. You remember I told you on Thursday that I have received information where there is a government program comprised of girls. They ain't got no microwave. They hardly got soap and other feminine things. But my uncle, Forrest Bow, he's going to give me $500.
Listen, it's called TAPS.
And TAPS, that's it, my spiritual advisor. And I'm going to take that $500 and tell them, you all buy up things for these young people. And I call on people all over the Bahamas to make me be proud and so that and do what my uncle is doing. Forrester Bow, okay? And we have been UBPs who put our money, all right? Don't mind Brent Simmons acting up. Forrester Bow, my uncle, and Brent Simmons, they all are UBP. This is powerful. UBP? The PLP said we were stinker P. Boy, that used to get me mad. They would say PLP all the way. UBP, stinker P. Yeah, I said, Mama, you hear them? Mama said, they ain't said.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Can you hear me now?
Wow, you were clear before you. Anyhow, go ahead. Let's see if we can try to understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, I went to Philadelphia, my brother on Saturday, right? You can hear me?
No, you
Yeah,
call us on
it's
another
bad.
line. It's
I don't know
terrible.
what's going on, but are you using a cell phone or landline?
My spiritual advisor. Don't waste time.
Okay.
Tell the man.
All right,
call
so
us on
call us
another
from the cell
line.
phone then. Next caller, please. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. 323-7775. Welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live. Are you there, caller? All right, we lost that call. 323-7775-698-0775-698-0776. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. Are you there? Go ahead, caller. You're live. Hello? All right. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Yes, it's my first time calling.
Welcome, welcome.
First time. I'm from Freeport.
Welcome, my love.
I could talk to spiritual advisor or Mankan.
Talk to the two of us. Go ahead.
Okay. When I watched House Assembly, that woman in House Assembly, she don't have no respect for none of them people in House Assembly. From Pinta getting them, they vote for Pinta. That woman was acting stupid. She ain't supposed to be in there. She need to step down. Brave Davis need to take her down because she don't know how to speak to people. This is my first stage. So you all have a good, blessed day. God bless you all.
Yes, ma'am. You take
We
care.
thank
now.
you very much.
Take care. Next caller, please. Welcome to Freedom March Caller. You're live.
Hello.
Good afternoon. You're live, caller.
You can hear me now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was saying that Saturday morning I buried my brother in Woodlawn.
Condolences.
how about
And
some
they
days?
had about 200 motorbikes in Woodlawn. And believe you me, you couldn't even hear the tractor while he was putting my brother down for the amount of noise they was making in that
Oh,
area.
wow. So
Can the
sorry.
government do something with that?
No. Hold on. That graveyard is private. That is owned by Tommy Turnquest's oldest sister. All right?
Mr. Monta, it doesn't
What's the
matter.
point?
if the
Why is-
graveyard is private or not.
My brother, listen to me. Listen to me. You're not listening.
Relax.
That is a private graveyard. You will have to talk to Tommy Turnquest's sister and ask her if in the future she could control the noise. But the government can't go to if I have a funeral there and I bring my motorbike gang, how the government could tell me where Tommy them? You know how much Tommy them is charge you?
Mr. Monta, Mr. Monta, you get me? Hey, Mr. Monta, listen to me, yeah? They had police there, you know. Police was in the graveyard. Then these guys start to make the noise. The police leave. So you know, what's the reason the police came there?
The police leave because everybody have their grave activities differently. All right? So all I'm saying to you is whenever you're having a funeral, you have to talk to Tommy Turnquest's oldest sister
Lashley.
and ask her if you could have a part of the graveyard where a motorbike can come, or tell you a day that you can have.
Mr. Monta, all due respect to you, right? But that's a bunch of nonsense what you're telling me.
I understand that, but I'm only letting you know that it's a private graveyard.
Yeah, but that is private or not. That is private. You should be able to bury your loved one in a peace man.
I agree.
I agree with you.
Therefore, you
Yeah.
have to talk with Lashley.
Yeah.
Everyone, Mr. Monta, listen, you're the consultant of Wayne Money, right? Can
Yes.
you talk to Wayne Money about that?
Monroe can't get involved in that.
He ain't getting involved.
I
You're
would've-
giving him an idea.
No.
In the graveyard on Saturday, and he can do something.
No, Monroe cannot get in that. I won't allow him. Talk to Tommy Turnquest. Listen to me. I have two issues with the grave now. I've not said anything because Tommy is my friend, and in more recent time, he's been looking out for me. So I'm going to talk to him privately.
No, you ain't got to do no friendship, you know. You ain't got to do no friendship.
I quite agree. If the people who had their funeral had a motorbike funeral, how the police can get in that? You have to talk to Lashley and say, now listen, I'm burying a relative. What events that you will have that will not interfere? Then Lashley got one young man who managed it.
Lightburn.
It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we had to.
Listen, folks. This is Freedom March. Well, Tommy Turnquest's sister fixed the grave. It's powerful. God saved the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God saved the king. God saved my uncle, Forrest Bow. Uncle, thank you. You make me proud today. God save the king. Tomorrow,